The darkness surrounds us. It's time to light up the night. It's time for Zero Dark 30 with John.
Yay!
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Zero Dark 30 on the Prepared Mind channel. We busted out of the bunker, heading into the night, and it's Friday, which means, well, Friday Zero Dark, and then tonight is going to be the Friday Free for All. But for now, folks, we're actually running into judicial tyranny. These black-robed dissidents. Well, I tell you, the judges are getting out of hand now. Literally. I want to start off with what I consider to be an incredible development, and that is the story of Chief Justice John Roberts, who is now being revealed to being in a club, if you will, kind of a little secret lawyers club in Washington, D.C. I don't know if this story is going to get any traction either in the mainstream media, which I strongly doubt, or even the alternative media, because it's a little bit confusing, other than just the conspiratorial nature of a so-called conservative judge and the Chief Justice of SCOTUS on top of it, hanging out in a club with Ketanji Brown Jackson, the Supreme Court Justice who doesn't know what a woman is. And the judge who has decided that he is going to tell Trump what to do more than any other judge, and that's turn those planes around and get them back here. Bring all those criminals back to America. And several other judges that are just not of the right kind, the right caliber that you would expect or hope to see from a conservative judge, and one on the Supreme Court, no less. These judges are out of hand, folks. We're at war right now. I'll give you another example. The little judge who ruled over Doge getting into, leadership roles that you said. He said, no, you can't do it. Doge employees cannot be the leadership at Doge. See, because they're like, well, we're just going to, you can't fire them. Can't get rid of them. Got to hire them back. So, they're going to find another way to interfere and just say, no, now you can't even have people here. If you've noticed, the bureaucracy, the legislature, and now the judiciary have all joined in and created a violation of the rules against perpetuity in government. There are institutions that are created they think can never be taken apart, can never be dismantled, can never be, reeled in even. They're finding billions, folks, and even trillions of dollars in lost money, stolen money. And these judges, on top of everything else, and politicians are being found using their spouses in their fraud schemes. Remember Senator Bob Menendez, Democrat, just last year, found guilty, folks, of accepting bribery. Literal bars of gold were being transferred to his wife for, Bob Menendez. It's crazy. So he actually went to jail, but we've got these other instances of judges and judges' wives, judges and judges' daughters working together in non-governmental operations, working together in political coordinated attacks on Trump, which means politically coordinated attacks on you and me. These judges may as well be wearing camouflage, because that's exactly what they are. They are combatants disguised as impartial opinions, impartial. You think they're impartial? They seem to all be coordinated in lockstep. Now, let's take this a little bit further. Oh, about 250, 60, and then 70 years ago, there was this thing called England that presumed it owned the people of the American colonies. I guess by right it could. It could claim it had that right, that it owned the North American continent. And without delving into that topic too much, who owns what, why, and how, there were judges running around in the 1750s and then the 1760s. And then it really got out of hand in the 1770s, leading up to the Declaration of Independence in 1776. The judges, they had these courts. They're called Star Chamber courts. These cute little courts with judges who are supposed to be impartial, right? We know that story. All they do is interpret the law and read what other judges or jurists, if you will, found. Fucking I-beams. and so they apply that logic and wisdom. There is no logic and wisdom amongst judges now. It's completely partisan. You're either for freedom and you're a freedom partisan and you understand the Constitution and the rules, or you are against it and you're a pseudo-Marxist and Machiavellianist, and you rule that way, and you'll use whatever you have to, including lying and even manufacturing evidence. Like the judge this week who used a movie quote, right? Lines from a movie in a ruling. This is not Jeopardy, Name That Tune, or Wheel of Fortune. It's supposed to be the United States of America. Good golly. Right now we're following in history's tracks. We're now in the same tracks. An out of control bureaucracy. Do you think King George, even though things were done in his name, really gave a shit and paid attention to who was administrating? That's right. While he was aware, his policies and rulership, the administration of the King George regime, was left to a bunch of bureaucrats, which had been the time-honored tradition for hundreds and hundreds of years. The throne being both uneducated, incompetent, and basically inbred. And everything was run on their behalf by bureaucrats. So in 1770s, all the way up to the Revolution, while the king realized the peasants of America were getting out of control, I don't think he really understood the nature to which the judges and the judiciary was being used to both make accusations, to make them the arrestable authority, right? In other words, law enforcement. They commanded the king's troops to bring people before them, make false accusations, provide false evidence and false witness, and then, folks, and then they would put them in jail, lock them up, screw them over, take their property, ruin them. Now, if you think about it, what does the Constitution, or rather the Bill of Rights, really point to? While we say it's supposed to stop the abuse of government, and we use that blanket, it is the judiciary that is actually one of the largest threats to us. The same way it was in the 1770s. Yes, law enforcement is the other one. No unreasonable searches and seizures, has to be signed upon sworn affidavit, signed by a judge or magistrate, right? In other words, they tried involving more people to stop single-handed conspiracies or small group conspiracies. They wanted to protect our rights against courts and information being used against us, and forcing and compelling us to testify against ourselves, and using our own property as evidence against us. Right? You're supposed to have the ability to say whatever the hell you want, but what do we have? We have judges putting gag orders on people. Illegal, unconstitutional, unnecessary, except in the case. They're repeating, folks. Yes, history is repeating. Law enforcement will use its reliance on legislatures to make laws that they know are wrong, so that law enforcement can enforce those corruptly, and then judges will oversee everything and provide all the signed warrants they need. Oh yeah, Chief Justice John Roberts, he was in charge of letting all of those FISA judges screw over Trump. I think Trump has it in for John Roberts, and I think John Roberts has it in for Trump. And I think there's going to be some conflict soon. Eyeballs, keep them open. Semper Fi, Godspeed, God bless America.